What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another video today, and in this video we have an absolutely massive Sioux Falls Regional Airport update for you guys. This is the very special 50th airport update. This will be for the months of March and April of 2024. This video I have delayed because there are quite a few things that have been happening at the Sioux Falls Regional Airport as of late. If you've been following my channel here in the last couple of weeks, you'll know exactly what's going to be in this update. Looking forward to having all the talent shows and other applicable details in this airport update. Military charters, and more military charters are the name of the game. But before we get to that, we've got some planes at the terminal, so without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at them. Starting off over here at gate number 1, we've got this Allegiant Airbus A320 that came in from Orlando Sanford as flight 1203. This arrived in at 9:20 a.m. had a scheduled 9:35 a.m. arrival. I've seen that our Austin service has returned on the Legion as well, so good to see that. More options for travelers out of Sioux Falls. American aircraft are taking up both of the Gate 5 aprons, so we'll take a look at 5B first, since that does not have a, aircraft does not have a jet bridge attached to it there. Sorry about the tripod here, it's not really working correctly right now. I'll try to fix that later. But at Gate 5B, we have this American Eagle CRJ-200 coming in from Chicago O'Hare as flight 5990, operated by Air Wisconsin, at 11:31 a.m. had a scheduled 11:55 a.m. arrival. Commercial flights in this airport update, with a couple of exceptions. All these flights are from Thursday, March 28th. So I made the schedule pretty much in advance, and I did have some other plans on what I wanted to do for this airport update. I'll talk more about those towards the end of the video. Next to that, at Gate 5A, we've got this American Airbus A319 with Sharklets. This aircraft arrived in from Dallas-Fort Worth International as flight 1295, arriving in at 12:14 p.m. had a scheduled 12:30 p.m. arrival. We've got some exciting changes to the DFW main line. I wasn't expecting these changes to happen, at least at this point in time, but here we are. American Mainline is going to upgrade to an Airbus A320 in June. One of the two services will be upgraded to that, the other will remain at a 319. Not only that, but they're going to add an extra frequency on an Envoy 175, so it will now become a 3 times daily service in June. So looking forward to that, and hopefully that means we may get closer to the upgrade of an A321 one of these days, and a good chance that one of the Heritage aircraft will come in. I do plan to get all of them into my collection. United semi-consistent mainline resting here at Gates 7 and 6. We'll take a look at Gate 7 first on the bottom here with this United 737-800 in the Continental Globe livery. This came in from Denver as flight 758, arriving at 10:55 p.m. had a scheduled 11:26 p.m. arrival. Registration is November 76532, which for some reason does seem a little familiar to me. But it's not because that this aircraft was made in 400 scale as far as I'm concerned, but I don't know, the registration just seems familiar to me. And then next to that, at Gate 6, we've got a larger United 737-900 wearing the Evo Blue livery. This is an ER variant. This aircraft came in from Chicago O'Hare as flight 445, arriving in significantly delayed. It was scheduled to arrive in at 9:53 p.m. on Tuesday. But it didn't arrive until 2 a.m. in the morning on Friday, March 29th, so this aircraft was significantly delayed. Unfortunate for those passengers. I believe that is... Gosh, I think that's at least 4 hours there, about 4 hours and 7 minutes. Hopefully my math is correct on that, but it's a significant delay nonetheless, regardless if my math is incorrect or not. And our last aircraft at the terminal, at Gate 4, we've got this Delta Connection Embraer 175. Came in from Minneapolis, this flight 3795, operated by SkyWest. At 10:09 a.m., had a scheduled 10:23 a.m. arrival. And that's all the aircraft we have here at the terminal. And now we'll move into the parking garage update. Very fortunate to report on some very exciting news, as of this week, on Thursday, April 4th, the Skyway has been installed. I'll pop up some photos from the Sioux Falls Regional Airport's Instagram so you can see how that went. The process went pretty well, although they were originally scheduled to do it on Wednesday, but they had to move it back a day because of forecasted high winds. So taking that precaution and making sure everyone's safe, that is always something that I can respect. But they were able to get it installed on time and hopefully cause minimal disruptions. They did have to close the airport road, though, for the entire day so that they could install the Skyway, but from what I've heard, I believe that that road is back open again. So if you are traveling out of the Sioux Falls Airport still, expect some minor delays still as they finish up construction. We'll move on to some photos and videos that I have taken. You'll see this clip here from when I was out at the bike path near the Sanford Pentagon Sports Complex when I was trying to catch the National 747. I did get this little clip here which shows some of the construction progress that has been made. More of the preset concrete has been installed on the north and the east side of the parking garage, so looking really good there with the progress being made on the preset concrete. The waves are also being installed in those areas as well, so that's going to look really good when that is all completed. And yeah, other than that, only the other highlight would be that Skyway, of course, but construction is moving along really nicely as we move into the spring months. Completion still expected to be somewhere around the late summer, early fall months, anywhere between like August and October is what I'm estimating, but some estimates I've heard are around October again, so we'll see what happens as we get a little closer. I'll have to reach out to the airport and see if I can get a more specific opening date, or at least an ETA that's a little more narrow when it comes to when that parking garage is going to open. But either way, looking forward to that parking garage opening, and I'll be sure to do something special with it since that is a pretty big event for the Sioux Falls Regional Airport. Now let's check out some aircraft roaming around, and then we're going to get into our military action. Our first of two passenger aircraft that we've got leaving here, we've got this United Express 550, CRJ 550. It's going to be heading out to Chicago O'Hare as Flight 4567, a GoJet operated flight as you would expect from a 550. This departed at 3:19 p.m., a bit behind a 3:15 p.m. scheduled arrival, so only behind by 4 minutes. I did forget to mention initially with the 739 that we took a look at Gate 6, our mainline service on United from Chicago is going to end here in April, so we'll see that reduction back to the United Express stuff and American Eagle. A little surprised that we haven't seen too much on the mainline side of things from Chicago. Hopefully that'll ramp up again here, because Chicago is looking to be our new most popular service ahead of Minneapolis now in the future. Speaking of United mainline, here's another mainline aircraft we've got here. This one also heading out to O'Hare. This United 737-700, a bit of a rarity here in Sioux Falls. Always nice to get that. Get this aircraft into town as United continues to demonstrate how inconsistent their mainline is. They will use literally every aircraft they've got in the fleet, and I think we've had every mainline aircraft come in now. We've had the 737, we've had the A319, A320, 737, 700, 800, and 900. We've had the MAX 8 come in. I think we've had the MAX 9 scheduled a couple times. Yeah, so we've had the MAX 9, yep. So we've had basically every mainline aircraft for the 737 A320. Really, the only thing that we need left for the narrow bodies now would be the 757, which I don't think they're ever going to send that into town. But I'm getting sidetracked here, so let's take a look at the 737-700. Heading out to Chicago O'Hare, as I said, as Flight 2327. This is the early morning flight, which departed at 8:09 a.m., delayed from a 7:45 a.m. scheduled arrival. So a 24-minute delay for this aircraft, which I imagine was caused by the fact that they had to de-ice the aircraft. As all of our commercial aircraft, we'll take a look at a charter, a cargo aircraft, and then our military aircraft. Taxiing behind one of our military aircraft, we've got this Avelo 737-800. This aircraft came in from South Bend, Indiana as Flight 9417. This action occurred on Friday, March 29th, arriving in at 1:16 p.m., had a scheduled 1:34 p.m. arrival. And this is one of the aircraft that I did spot, albeit on its departure. It went out to Rochester, New York, so right over to ROC Aviation's territory. Hello there, Gavin. So it was nice to spawn another Avelo aircraft, and I believe that's now like their 6th or 7th visit now. They've made quite a handful of visits now, and I've captured a good majority of them at this point. I think I've only missed one in the time that Avelo has come to Sioux Falls, because I remember seeing their first visit and like their first couple after that. Next up, we've got this Alpine Air Beechcraft 1900. This aircraft arrived in from Rapid City as Flight 1587 at 8:36 p.m., had of a scheduled 9:12 p.m. arrival. So we've got an aircraft that's arriving close to 40 minutes ahead of schedule here. Looking forward to bringing back Alpine Air into the Sioux Falls Airport updates, and I'll be sure to try and grab some of the extra prop aircraft that we get for cargo, with all like the little Cessna 208s that we get from FedEx Feeder, CSA Air, and then like the ATR again. Hopefully that does come back at some point. We've had the ATR 42 come in sometimes as well. I haven't seen the 72 in quite some time, which is pretty interesting. And oh, hello, we've got another commercial aircraft that's just taxiing out. I did not even see this one. Okay. This airport's popping right now. We've got a lot of action going on. But taxiing out of gate number 1, we've got this Allegiant Airbus A319. It's going to be heading out to Austin, Texas, a service that I have previously mentioned in this video. This aircraft is operating as Flight 1503, which departed at 5:57 p.m., delayed from a 5:41 p.m. scheduled arrival. So we've got another 16-minute delay here. Again, I imagine because the aircraft had to be de-iced. And yeah, I just want to make sure we don't have any more commercial aircraft, so thank goodness. We can move on to our military action, so let's go ahead and get into that right now. We're starting off really strong here with our military charters. We've got this lovely National 747-400, the newest model in my collection, which you saw in the unboxing video on Saturday. This does have a matching registration, of course, in November 702 Charlie Alpha. Very lovely aircraft indeed here from JC Wings. This aircraft arrived in from Orlando International as Flight 417, arriving in at 2:47 p.m. ahead of a scheduled 2:51 p.m. arrival. Now this aircraft, along with several others that we'll take a look at here later in the video, this aircraft did go to Okinawa, Japan. This one did do a direct flight. The others did a stopover in Anchorage. So pretty interesting stuff here with what's going on with all the movements that we've had here as of late. And check this out, my Kalitta Air 747-400 makes its debut on the airport updates. This is the flaps down mask livery that I've had for quite some time, and I haven't really used it, but seeing as we did get a Kalitta 747 recently, actually two of them, I'll talk more about that here in just a second, I figured I'd use the flaps down one here and make this look really cool, putting it on the stand just beside the taxiway here, because obviously I do not have space for an actual runway. So this first Kalitta 747, which is what I'm representing here, this came in from Chicago O'Hare as Flight 9767 on Sunday, March 31st. This arrived in at 2:25 p.m., delayed from a 1:55 p.m. scheduled arrival. And this is a BCF 747 in this case, November 741 Charlie Kilo. And then on the very next day, on Monday, right after this Kalitta 747 left, another one had to come in. Yes, another one came in without any warning. It didn't even show up on the flight tracker, on the flight schedule, and I didn't even see it until the aircraft had already landed. So I was a little bit infuriated that I didn't get to see it, but I made the situation work in the best way possible, as on my way out of town to head back to college, I took this photo of the Kalitta 747, the second one, that was sitting on the ramp. This one was November 705 Charlie Kilo, which is already a freighter-built 747, so no BCF here in this case. Man, I love this model here, the Kalitta 747 mask livery flaps down. I'll have to try and get a regular livery as well, because this one obviously isn't as common as all the others, because there's only one of them there in the fleet. So I'll have to pick up a regular Kalitta 74 at some point. And then sitting on the heart stand, we've got a trio of military aircraft. Two true military and then one military charter there in the middle. I'll talk more about that aircraft and why I'm using that in just a second. We'll start off in the back with the very big C5M Super Galaxy. This came in from Travis Air Force Base as Flight Reach 2026. That was a call sign for it. No scheduled arrival time because I wasn't able to obtain that information. But I did spot it on my way back home from college on that Thursday, March 28th. I was on the interstate and I looked off to my left and I see this giant monster plane just sitting on the ramp with the nose open, mind you. And I'm like, oh my god, what is this thing doing here? So I know I had to get up to the airport to see it, and that's what I did. I caught this video of it departing. Go check out the full video by clicking on the card if you want to see that. It departed, I think it was around like 8 o'clock on Thursday night. A couple spotters were out there. Some unfortunately left before it did depart, and I was about 2 seconds away from leaving too. But then all of a sudden, the plane had to turn its lights on and make it look like as if it was going to go. It sat around for I think another like 5-10 minutes, and then it finally started moving. So that's when I knew, yep, I made the right call to stay. And I got a lovely video of it departing. So very happy with it. And then in the middle, we've got these extra aircraft I unfortunately did not see because by this point I was back in college. But we've got this Omni Air 767-200 in the middle. And I'm substituting this with my Delta 767-200. This is the Spirit of Delta one with the Farnborough 82 livery since it has the 767 titles on the tail. This aircraft came in from Fort Worth Alliance Airport. Again, I don't have an exact scheduled arrival, actual arrival thing because it doesn't show up. All the Omni Air aircraft are blocked on Flight Radar 24 for some reason. I'm guessing that's at the request of Omni Air International. November 234 Alpha X-Ray, though, was the aircraft used in this case. Lovely 762, and hopefully I do get to see one of those before they're all gone. And then on the bottom, this moved in at about the same day as well. We've got the C-17 Globemaster, call sign Reach 158 from Tacoma McChord Air Force Base. This aircraft would later go on to Honolulu, and I'm guessing it probably went to Okinawa after. And unfortunately, I'm not able to ascertain exactly where it went after, but it did go to Honolulu after the fact. And I forgot to mention as well, we had two C5s come in, and one of them I didn't catch, but this first one that I caught, it went to Duluth, and I'm not sure where it went after. And then the second one went over to Alaska, presumably on a stopover to Okinawa and Anchorage. So that's kind of my assumption. And then the Omni Air also went to Anchorage, and I'm assuming it did a stopover there before it continued on to Okinawa. So we've had quite a bit of a movement at the Sioux Falls Regional Airport with all the, I'm assuming this is like troop deployment, sending out troops and various supplies over there as well. So I don't know exactly what's going on. I don't have that information, so I'm not going to exactly speculate as to what's happening. But I do want to thank all of those that are currently in service right now and those that have served previously for protecting and defending our way of life in this country. Your service is truly appreciated. And then, of course, another thing as well I do want to mention, just came back to my mind here. About 15 minutes after I got home, before I recorded this video and then the national unboxing video, an F-15 decided to take off from Sioux Falls. An F-15! So I don't know what is going on right now. We've got tons of military action. It's ridiculous, and it's just non-stop. So, I mean, keep them coming, because that means more content for me, and I can continue to fill in those days with all kinds of videos. That is something that I always look forward to doing with the Sioux Falls Regional Airport content. And that'll do it for the very special 50th Sioux Falls Airport update. Not a special that I had originally planned out. I was planning to do like a real-life airport update, but that didn't really materialize, and then eventually here comes in all these military aircraft, and I figured, you know what, why don't I just use this as a special instead, because this, after all, is a very special thing for the Sioux Falls Regional Airport to get as many big jumbo jets coming in and out in Sioux Falls for all these purposes. So with that being said, that is the end of the video. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.